What is up, brawlers? My name is Soy and I absolutely love playing Brawl Stars, especially Brawl Ball. With over 1000 hours playing the game and over 15,000 3v3 victories that mostly come from Brawl Ball, I believe I have a couple of helpful tips that will definitely make you guys a better player inside Brawl Stars. In my Brawl Pass Season 1 video, I was pretty hyped for our first ever chromatic brawler. Surge has had his ups and downs inside the game. He was pretty underwhelming in the dev builds, but then he became incredibly strong after a quick emergency buff. He stayed in the top tiers until Supercell decided that it was about time for him to get nerfed. And here we are, 2 seasons later, where I have to tell you guys that Surge is surprisingly really good right now in Brawl Ball. Before we start, unless said otherwise, I used to base my videos on random matchmaking, preferably with no gadgets or star powers, so even people with non-max accounts can try out the tips and get the benefit. But just for this one video, you need to have specific star power for Surge, which is his second star power, Serve Ice Cold. Let me explain. Speed is one of what I call the 4 pillars of Brawl Ball. Speed is so important in this mode, even if you don't have the other 3 pillars, health, DPS, and a good super. Speed alone can carry you in Brawl Ball. Basically, just by activating Surge's super once for the entire match, you'll be as fast as a Leon or a Mortis. That is blazing fast, guys. Add to the fact that you still have your range, your ability to hit multiple opponents, a super that can stop dribblers, and a gadget that can easily get rid of those pesky throwers. Surge have a very solid kit for Brawl Ball, guys. Let's start with map selection and picking your matchups. Surge is pretty good even on closed maps with plenty of walls, but once you reach his level 4, he'll do even better on semi-open maps with moderate amount of walls. I wouldn't recommend playing Surge in open maps because of the Brocks and Pipers who can destroy you even before you reach level 2. As for the matchups, Surge totally rule against tanks because you can pick them out from afar. And even if they do get close, you can just use your super to dodge one of their attack and turn the tide against them. Surge can outburst most squishies in close range interactions, but if you want to face the glass cannons, you are going to need at least your level 3 super and just start sniping them from afar. The very first thing that you'll want to do in a Brawl Ball match as a Surge is getting your super. This is pretty easy because all you need is 3 direct hits, even less if his attack bounces and hit other opponents. If you have his gadget, the Power Surge, you can instantly teleport through wall and surprise the opponent behind it with some quick 3 hits burst. And just like that, you'll have his super and ready to create havoc on the rest of that match. So you got your first super, now you're as fast as a Leon. Use that speed to go around the outside and surround your opponents from multiple angles. But don't be too clumsy. No thanks to his latest nerf, Surge's health is not great whatsoever. Do the pick and shoot. Also, don't forget to use your speed to get away from dangerous situations. You can afford to be a little aggressive because you're not going to lose your speed even if you die. But as your level of super goes up, the more careful you should be. A level 3 Surge can pick out opponents from afar, so use that to your advantage. Don't just rush your opponents and feed them their supers. Recognize how far your matchup can shoot and try to attack them from outside of their range. And finally, once you reach level 4 with Surge, now we're talking. Level 4 Surge have that Jesse effect where he can create havoc inside opponent's defense with his bouncing shots. This is the point where you need to be more careful. Your shots become even more valuable for your team because every time you land a shot, it's going to bounce and force your opponents to reposition themselves, which just disrupts the overall stability in their defense, allowing your team to generate easier push and possibly aiming for team wipes. Hold on to your next super so you can take out any tanks who are foolish enough to ambush you. At level 4, Surge can be a massive pain for his opponents, so you should try to consistently corner your opponents with your bouncing shots as much as you can, while trying your best not to die and lose the momentum. Obviously, with his gadget, Surge also have massive potential for fancy trick shots, but his health is really not that great, and he is much more beneficial to his team because of his speed and attacks, not his goal scoring capabilities. So, personally, I don't go for goals when playing Surge. However, should the opportunity present itself, I never say no. In conclusion, with Surf Ice Cold, Surge is really fun to play in Brawl. You can rely to his gadget for getting quick super or dish out some annoying throwers behind opponents' walls. Try to get his first super as soon as possible because that speed is what makes Surge really good. Increase your self-preservation as you go up in levels and keep bombarding the opponents with your bounce shots. After a pretty bumpy recording session last week with Colette, I'm really glad that I had so much fun with Surge this week. Don't be shy to tell me which other brawlers or Brawl Ball tips that you guys want to see in this channel. Like and sub if you haven't, and share this video to random people in your socials so randoms in Brawl Stars would play better. Until the next one, my name is Soy, signing out.
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could've played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever wanna try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.